Welcome back to Houston Life. RSV, or Respiratory Syncytial Virus, affects the respiratory tract and lungs and is most common from October through March.
And while most children will be exposed to this virus before the age of 2, it is something that can affect people of all ages. I sat down with Dr. Ushul Halach, a pediatrician with Children's Memorial Hermann, to learn more about how to stay healthy during RSV season. Dr. Halach, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Thank you.
When it comes to the symptoms of RSV, what should parents or caregivers really be looking out for? How is this different than just a typical cold?
Okay, it's really not that easy to tell the difference between RSV, flu, or the common cold. The symptoms more or less overlap. In most cases, it presents as mild symptoms, such as fever, nasal congestion, and cough. If a kid presents with wheezing, rapid breathing, or caving of the chest, that's the time the parents need to ask for help right away. They can go to their pediatrician or be seen in the emergency room.
Okay, and I'm sure that's concerning for parents if their child is exhibiting those symptoms. What are the treatment options available? I know in rare, serious cases, a child might need to be hospitalized.
Yes.
That doesn't happen with every case, right? We want to be clear.
Luckily, no. RSV is a virus, so antibiotics are not going to be helpful. The treatment options for RSV in most cases is symptomatic, so we can help with their oxygen delivery, oxygenation basically. We can sometimes give them albuterol if they're wheezing to help with their breathing. There is the new FDA approved monoclonal antibody against the RSV virus. This new monoclonal antibody is by no means a protection from the RSV altogether. However, it helps to make the symptoms less severe. We also do recommend it for newborn babies who are born during this time, again, as early as possible, preferably within the first week of life.
Let's say for parents out there who have a brand new baby, it's holiday time, grandparents, family members, they're going to want to see that baby. How do you proceed if you have a new baby and you're going into the holiday season?
Yeah, so having a baby is very important in a family's life, especially for the mom and dad. It's also very important for the grandparents and the close relatives. So it's really hard to say, well, don't go anywhere. However, it's really important to make sure you are washing your hands. I would also recommend that the parents screen for symptoms. If a relative has fever, if a relative has secretions and cough, maybe keep that person away from the children. I would also make sure that the time with the baby is limited, not 30 minutes, but maybe shorter periods. In that case, you can decrease the exposure to any kind of virus that may be around. If possible, instead of getting exposure within the house in a closed environment, if we are in a place like Houston, weather is nice, get exposure outside.
Oh, that's good. Some fresh air.
Fresh air.
One of the myths, before we let you go, is that only babies and young children can be affected by RSV. That's not true.
Actually, any age can get infected with RSV, and even adults over the age of 65 are actually at high risk to get complications from RSV as well.
And for them, it all goes back to just
hygiene.
Yes. Washing hands, using common sense. If someone you know, if they're having a runny nose or a cough or sneezing, maybe don't hang out so closely with that person for the time being.
That's what I would say. A person can be contagious for about a month after they have had the virus. So in this case, hygiene in the house and in the environment, such as doorknobs, crib rails, changing stations would be very important.
So a lot of hand washing, a little bit of common sense as well. But the important thing is, even if you or your child end up getting diagnosed with RSV, there are treatment options available.
Yes, there are treatment options available. And the important thing is just get the help as soon as possible. If you feel your child is breathing rapidly, if your child has wheezing, if your child is not feeding well.
All right, Dr. Halach, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And for more information about RSV and services offered at Children's Memorial Hermann, you can visit memorialhermann.org/kids-KPRC.